Okay, this is our precious metals update. We'll start with gold. We'll review silver. We'll look at We'll look at GDX. So, gold has been very, very robust, and we'll look at the gold to silver ratio as well. There, there's definitely something about this that's a little bit fishy in that, you know, gold seems to be more robust than silver right now, which is generally not a great sign. So it is day 8 of a new daily cycle. You can see the 10-day moving average is curling up. I mean, this thing could just be getting started, right? Very positive look. Well, I will say, this thing looks like it's like. I mean, this is a rising bearish wedge on some time frame. And if you've watched enough videos on this channel, I hope you're starting to learn that the multiple time frame analysis. It seems pretty clear to me that we are going to get, like, we're probably going to get a pretty sizable kind of like, well, this thing needs to correct a little bit, right? We need a higher low to keep moving up, because this looks just kind of perilous right now. So that's your daily chart. On the weekly, it is week 2, just very robust, clean set of candles on the weekly. And of course, this is just day 1, or this is just the first day of the week. So we'll have to see how the rest of the week plays out, especially Tuesday. So far, it's been bullish, but still super early. Today is August 1st, by the way. 9, almost 10 p.m. So we've been trading for like almost 4 hours now, after hours, and we are just coming up on the 10-week moving average. So you imagine we're going to cross above that, and importantly, above 1816 gives us a monthly swing low. So if we can get above that, that would give us a monthly swing low. So you imagine we're going to at least test that level, if not, successfully get through it and kind of back test it from above. We'll have to see. That said, I keep reminding people this, and I'm not trying to be a party pooper, but if you think about the 7 or 8 year cycle, 7-year cycle would be 84 months. An 8-year cycle would be 96 months. This is month 80. The high so far for this cycle was on month 54, which was August 2020. That's right. We have not had a new high for 2 years. It's officially 2 years now because we're in August, right? This was not a new high. It wasn't even technically, I mean, it is a double top. It's a slight lower high. This was $5 lower than this high. So ominous, if nothing. And so think about that. If we're going to get a cycle that's somewhere between 84 and 96 weeks, what are the odds that we're going to make some kind of big parabolic move and then drop into our cycle low, versus the idea that this whole thing has been consolidation before the final drop into the cycle low? We're going to have to see how that plays out. It will literally play out on this monthly chart, right? Like, is this the final capitulation? Because what that would mean is this is your low, and then we're kind of just moving up from here. That's totally possible. It could be that we're getting a bottom on month 79. Totally possible. We swept this, we kind of swept these lows here. You look at the past, we had a low on month 86, month 92, month 96, 97. So, I mean, it's entirely possible, right, that we're putting it behind us. Again, getting above 1816 would be your first sign, because that would give you your monthly swing low. You literally need to have that structurally for a long-term bottom. And now we'll move on to silver. So silver is a different day count. It's day 13, and we're threatening to make a swing high on day 12. So day 12 was Monday. And so if we trade below $20.09, that will mean we would go below the low of this candle that marks the high so far, right? If we continue to move lower, that would give us a swing low. Would not be good news. That means we could potentially be getting a daily cycle high on day 12. That'd just be a really bad sign, because that would suggest we're not going to have a very bullish weekly cycle. And if you look at the weekly, it's week 3, and that's the implication. Think about that. If we're getting an early daily cycle top, then it's possible that it's also an early weekly cycle top. I mean, imagine if we just topped out here on week 3. I mean, imagine that this was all the rally that we got. That seems unlikely, but I don't know. The fact that gold is outperforming also feels kind of fishy. There might be something to that, like why gold is sort of leading. Maybe it's a hint that this is more of a risk-off led sort of thing, and that's why we're not seeing silver move. And I'll finally go to, and on the monthly chart, silver actually just needs to trade above 2036 and we'll have a monthly swing low. This like, hammer type kind of sort of thing like candle definitely has set us up for a monthly swing low. Much easier than the gold monthly swing low that I just talked about, but we obviously have to get there. Silver has a way of just turning up sort of all of a sudden. And GDX, I mean, this thing is the dog of them all. On the daily chart, it is day 5. So it's relatively early in the daily cycle, but I mean, look at this. There's just been no mojo. I mean, imagine trading within this for these last 3 days. This really ugliness, and then you have red days sandwiched in between. So tomorrow will be the start of day 6. And most importantly for GDX, we haven't even confirmed the weekly swing low yet. We need to trade above 26.39 and ideally stay there, obviously, to make it a weekly swing low. So that would be the low from last week. We've got to trade above that level, hopefully back test it from above and keep moving. You can see we're well below the 10-week moving average, which is declining pretty steeply. So I'll say just in general, just to put a finer point on it, it does seem like precious metals are on a longer term cycle decline, but it doesn't mean we can't get a rally for that lasts for 2, 3, maybe even 5 to 7 weeks from here, right? Like considering we're in week 2 for gold, so maybe we get a top on week 9, something like that. And for the monthly chart, I mean, very similar to silver. This is just god awful. We need to trade above 28.36 to give ourselves a monthly swing low, which makes you think we'll at least kind of test that level, flirt with it at the very least. So that's the picture for metals. There are definitely some bullish signs. Again, gold is really perked up here, which suggests to me, obviously it means there's a lot of buyers coming in, which I don't know, suggests maybe this is a hint that this is a sort of precursor to a more risk off event, which is why gold is being sort of buoyed up, but silver and GDX are kind of scraping off the mat just a little bit. I mean, to be fair, if I go back to silver, that's a very bullish weekly candle, right? The proof is going to be in the pudding tomorrow, right? Like, do we get the turnaround Tuesday and we start to see some upside, some bullish follow through, or do we continue to kind of languish here? If nothing else, as long as we stay in the upper end of this range, we're essentially building out a bull flag for another leg higher. So we'll have to see.